It's the morning weather briefing. This is for Monday, the 9th of September. This is James Spann, and it sure looks like we're going to have a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico soon. And anytime that happens, there are about 1.2 million questions. So let's see if we can find 1.2 million answers. So a lot to talk about this morning. Let's begin with the radar out of Mobile early this morning. We're live at 5:19, and we've got a cluster of showers just off the Alabama Gulf Coast, moving into Gulf Shores and Fort Morgan. Not seeing much thunder and lightning with that. The rest of the state is in a cool, dry air mass to start the day. Got a big trough over the eastern states, and it was just an amazingly nice day yesterday. With low humidity, feels good this morning. In fact, we'll check temperatures. You can see many spots north and west of Birmingham are in the 50s early this morning. About 54 for Jasper, Cullman, Haleyville, 57, Huntsville, 56. But as you work your way down to the south, we have low 70s for Montgomery, Dothan, and Mobile. Highs will be well up in the 80s today. We'll probably see low 90s for South Alabama. So here's the severe weather outlook for today and tonight. There's a marginal risk over parts of New York. Tomorrow, no organized severe weather is expected. And then on day 3, which is Wednesday, as the tropical system approaches, we note there is a marginal risk that is setting up along the central Gulf Coast. Here's a closer look at that. And you can see this is a marginal risk. This is level 1 out of level 5, and this is mainly for late Wednesday and Wednesday night, the pre-dawn hours Thursday morning. This would include Mobile, Baldwin, and Washington counties in southwest Alabama, South Mississippi, and southeast Louisiana. There could be a few isolated tornadoes in association with what will be Francine, the tropical system. And much more on this as we go through modeling. And obviously, the tropical system will bring some really beneficial rain. Hopefully, the positives will far outweigh the negatives here. This is rain valid through Monday morning of next week. And this is coming from NOAA's WPC, the Weather Prediction Center. This is a vetted forecast. For the western side of the state, rain amounts between 2 and 3 inches. For the eastern side of the state, rain amounts between 1 and 2 inches. And, of course, on the immediate coast, the amounts could be heavier. Where you see the yellow on that map, the amounts could be around 4 inches south of Interstate 10 in Mobile and Baldwin counties. And for the Florida Panhandle, rain amounts generally between 2 and 3 inches. Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, the central Gulf Coast will be on the east wet side of the system. And again, I know it might be inconvenient, but hey, this is the latest drought monitor, and we need that rain. Pretty much the entire state in some type of drought, either D1 or D2 conditions. So when it comes to the tropics, let's begin with the big picture. We'll focus on Francine to be here in just a second. And in addition to the system in the Gulf, there are a couple of features out there in the central Atlantic that have decent potential. And one with a high chance of development, the lead wave, the trailing wave with a medium chance. And both of those could be in a position where they're going to be gaining latitude. In fact, we'll take a look at that lead system that is Invest 92L. And this is coming off the GFS ensemble, and you can see that most, not all, but most of the members want to show this beginning to take the turn north of the Leeward Islands, kind of missing Puerto Rico and missing the Lesser Antilles. But again, this is just something to watch. Those are a long way out there. Obviously, the focus will be on this, which is now PTC 6, Potential Tropical Cyclone 6. And understand the sustained winds are 50 miles an hour. A lot of people say, well, why isn't this now a tropical storm? It doesn't have the classic tropical structure, the classic warm core structure at this point, but it should later today. So this is the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center with PTC number 6. And again, no change from last night. Maybe it's jogged a little to the east. You can see that it comes in Wednesday evening on the coast of Louisiana, maybe not too far from Morgan City, in the remnant circulation moving up the Mississippi River. And in terms of intensity, the Hurricane Center expecting this to be a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 80 miles per hour at the time of landfall. And, of course, thankfully, on that part of the Louisiana coast, it's not densely populated. And, again, you can see, that remnant circulation coming right up the Mississippi. It'll Memphis Thursday night. Of course, by then it'll be a post-tropical low. And then southern Illinois, perhaps, Friday evening. So, obviously, a lot of rain. Now, this is coming off the national blend of models. It's a little more aggressive than the WPC outlook. This is suggesting rain amounts in the 2 to 4 inch range for West Alabama, 1 to 2 inches for the eastern side of the state. And again, you can see the numbers for the Gulf Coast, Gulf Shores, 6 inches. Destin, Fort Walton Beach, about 4 inches. Panama City Beach, about 3 inches. And again, the bulk of this rain will start Wednesday, during the day Wednesday on the immediate Gulf Coast and spreading northward. And we'll have soaking rains Wednesday night, Thursday, maybe into part of the day Friday. And we'll go through the dailies here in just a second in modeling. And, of course, another issue, it's going to be rip currents. Obviously, there's going to be a very high rip current danger on the central Gulf Coast beginning tomorrow night all the way through Friday. So expect red or double red flags. So let's go through modeling. Model fans, the GFS, this is the 06Z run, valid today at 4. Big trough over New England. And again, a really nice day today for most of the state. Sunny, very warm, upper 80s, low 90s. Showers limited to the immediate Gulf Coast. This is the high-resolution HER model, valid this evening at 6 o'clock. And really, it shows most of the showers offshore, but there's no doubt you could see some rain at times today. Gulf Shores, Destin, Panama City Beach, but it's certainly not going to rain all day. Again, we've got some rain showers now down on the Alabama Gulf Coast, but not raining all day. So this is tomorrow. What should be Francine is just southeast of South Padre Island, Texas. And again, for most of Alabama, it should be a nice day. Highs around 90, partly sunny. Rain limited to the Gulf Coast. So this is Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and what should be Francine as a Category 1 hurricane is coming up toward Morgan City, Louisiana. And remember, as you look at these maps, a hurricane's not a dot when you look at the tracking maps. There's a lot of rain extending out far on the east side. And the main impact in terms of wind and rain and storm surge along and east of the center, which means Houston's going to be on the dry side. Alabama's Gulf Coast, the central Gulf Coast on the wet side. So let's go to Thursday afternoon. The remnant circulation is just southwest of Memphis. And again, the central pressure is still under 1,000 millibars at this point. And when you see a configuration like this, obviously it's going to be a good soaking rain for the state. And also, we'll have to watch for the potential for a few isolated brief tornadoes. On the positive side here, the models are not bullish on instability. In fact, it shows basically little instability across the state, and hopefully that will prevent us from having a tornado problem on Thursday. But again, anytime you see that, you've got to watch that radar like a hawk. So we cannot rule out the chance of a few isolated tornadoes on Thursday, especially over the western side of the state. But obviously, that's going to be a very wet, breezy day. In terms of gradient wind, I'd say the winds could gust to maybe 25, 30 miles an hour. I don't think that'll be a big problem. But again, a lot of rain, maybe an isolated tornado on Thursday. So Friday, the remnant circulation is over the Missouri boot heel. And a slot of dry air is trying to work in here. And at this point, for those that are planning a beach trip, the weather should be greatly improved on the Gulf Coast on Friday. So your really rough days are going to be late Wednesday, Wednesday night, into Thursday with improving weather Friday. And then Saturday, the system dissipates and the dry slot really doesn't take over. And this is suggesting there will be a chance of showers over at least the northern half of the state on Thursday as that remnant low kind of meanders about. Now, the Gulf Coast looks pretty good. At this point, any showers look to be very isolated. And let's go to Sunday. And again, Moisture, remnant circulation will have a chance of showers, not raining all day, but a chance of showers on Sunday. And this is a week from today, Monday the 16th. Again, heights a little below average. And again, once again, we'll have a chance of showers. Let's go out 10 days. This is Wednesday the 18th. And again, evidence that we might see a few showers, mainly over the southern half of the state. But this is 10 days out. That could easily change. Now, this is rain for Birmingham. The mean is now between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 24th of September. Temperature is up there close to 90 today and tomorrow, mid-80s on Wednesday, and then Thursday with just rain most of the day. The tropical rain, the high only at 73. And again, hopefully that will greatly limit the instability we have and prevent a tornado problem. And then we bounce back with highs in the 80s for the weekend and much of next week. And the latest long-range guidance, this is for September 16th through the 22nd. Temperatures a little above average if this works out. And again, for those just joining us live, we'll go back and go through the tropics really quickly one more time. But a few images that came in yesterday. The persimmon seeds. Yeah, the people are sending in the images and a lot of these spoons. And, of course, the old wives' tale says that means you'll be shoveling snow this winter. And trust me, doing this for 40-something years, I will tell you that almost every year I get those spoon pictures, and it doesn't snow every year here. But, hey, it is what it is. But, goodness, we enjoyed an amazing sunset yesterday. That was taken down at Gulf Shores last night, but just glorious. The colors were stunning as the sun angle is getting a little lower. As we're getting into September deeper and getting close to the day of the equinox, the official beginning of fall based on astronomy. But again, the colors were just incredible across the deep south and especially on the Gulf Coast last night. All right, so very quickly, if you're just joining us live, we're live here at 5:31, and we're watching this disturbance in the southwestern Gulf. This should become Tropical Storm Francine later today once it acquires true tropical characteristics. Top winds 50 miles an hour. This is forecast to be a Category 1 hurricane at the time of landfall Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening on the coast of Louisiana with 80-mile-per-hour winds. And remember, a hurricane is not a dot on these maps. The effect of wind and rain and storm surge will extend well to the east of the center. And again, we hope that the positives will certainly be more than the negatives for Alabama here in this case. And obviously, beneficial rain is likely. We could see rain amounts in the 2 to 4 inch range for the western side, 1 to 2 inches for the eastern side. And again, we'll be watching for any low-end tornado potential on Thursday. Hopefully, the lack of instability will prevent that from happening. But again, Thursday, just very wet, maybe an isolated tornado with a remnant low that's located just to the southwest of Memphis. And again, for those of you on the coast, keep in mind the rip current danger will be high tomorrow night through Friday. And conditions will begin to improve in terms of weather on the Gulf Coast on Friday, but the rip current danger will stay high there. And again, this morning as we're live, you can see a few showers that are weakening near and just offshore around the Alabama Gulf Coast, but most of the state will see a beautiful day today. All right, got a busy week today. Quickly, we're going to be today at Inglenook School for a weather program. Tomorrow, Springville Middle School, and then a program at Valleydale Baptist Church for the senior adults. Wednesday, I'll be in Cullman speaking to the Association of Realtors. Thursday, got a homeschool group out in the Hueytown area. Of course, if we wind up having a tornado threat, we might have to move that. We'll see. And then Friday, I'll be at Westminster School at Oak Mountain. And also River and Cape Montessori School in Alabaster. And at this point, we do not have a book signing scheduled on Saturday. Looks like the next one's going to be on the 21st. Of course, tonight it's Monday night. It's Weather Brains, the weekly show for weather dweebs, geeks, nerds, dorks, and weenies. We'll obviously talk about Francine. That's at 7 o'clock Central Time. YouTube.com/weatherbrains. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great Monday, and God bless.